Let's talk about trials, because everyone's very hopeful about different trials, and we see good news, bad news coming out, and headlines are ridiculous. And when we look at a trial, whether it's good news or bad news, what questions do we need to ask ourselves and learn more about before we can come to any real conclusion about them? And what are limitations of trials too, I should ask?
All right, so we're talking about human trials, and there are two kinds broadly, where first you have a drug, you want to make sure it's safe in people, right? You've tested it a lot in animals, and you know how much to give it to people, so you want to make sure it's safe. So it's called a phase 1, where you just say, if we give this to 100 people, are they okay? Do they have any weird things happening so that we don't want to use this? And so that's it. That's not an efficacy trial. You're not asking if the drug or the vaccine works. You just want to know if it's safe.
Oh, interesting.
So a lot of these new vaccines are going through phase 1. It takes about 2 months or so to get people enrolled, give them the drug or the vaccine, and then you watch them daily for some time. Okay.
Oh, you don't wait for like a year. It's not. You don't watch them for like a year to see if
no,
they grow
no. For phase 1, just a few months to make, because the drug goes away after a month or so, and the vaccine is there transiently as well. So you don't need to watch them for a year. So that's phase 1. Then let's say you pass the phase 1, and some vaccines for SARS-CoV-2 are now in phase 1, and they should be ending, May, June. Then let's say it's safe. It's no problem in people at multiple doses. So then the next thing you ask, does it work for what you think it's supposed to do? Does it block infection if it's a vaccine? Does it reverse infection if it's an antiviral? So what do you do there? You have to have people who are infected, right? So for an antiviral, you could give it to patients who you know are infected, and you typically would do that in a hospital setting and see if it reduces infection, like have been done for remdesivir. Or the vaccine, you give it to people and say, go out into the world, and I'll see you in a month. And then you see if they get infected and at what rate compared to people that don't have the vaccine, what we call the placebo. And for that, you need virus to be circulating and infecting people, right? So those kind of trials are not going to start till late summer, fall. And by then we might not have enough virus circulating to be able to test them. That's what we should look for.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I got to go, but this is not a fair question to ask you, especially in such a short time. What do you think we should do with letting people out and going back to normal from a virologist's perspective?
So looking at the numbers, looks like things are starting to slow down in terms of infections, and the hospitalizations are what we should look at, because that's what we're trying to prevent. We want to see the numbers go down, and I think if in a 2-week period they keep going down, then you allow people to go back in phases, not all at once. Don't open everything at once, right? Of certain essential people in small numbers, taking precautions, maybe face masks, and you see what happens. You monitor infections, you monitor hospitalizations, you do it slowly, and I'm sure we can do it that way.
Okay, so you're kind of in a hopeful mode moving forward?
Oh, yeah,
or?
Totally. I'm very hopeful. I think people should realize soon we're going to start going back to life.
Slater Crusaders, thanks for watching the first on YouTube. If you want more, like, subscribe. We got plenty.